Michel grew up devoutly Catholic in Bavaria, West Germany in the 1960s, where she attended Mass twice a week. When Anneliese was 16, she suddenly blacked out at school and began walking around dazed. Though Anneliese did not remember the event, her friends and family said she was in a trance-like state. A year later, Anneliese Michel experienced a similar occurrence, where she woke up in a trance. Her body also went through a series of convulsions, causing her body to shake uncontrollably. But what happened next was even more disturbing. Anneliese visited a neurologist who diagnosed her with temporal lobe epilepsy. Temporal lobe epilepsy, TLE, is epilepsy that starts in the temporal lobe area of your brain. Your temporal lobe processes memories and sounds, interprets vision and governs speech and language. It's also involved in some unconscious/automatic responses such as hunger, thirst, fight or flight, emotions and sexual arousal. Your right and left temporal lobes differ in their functions. One or more functions may be affected depending on the exact location where the seizure starts in your temporal lobe. Anyone, of any race or sex, can develop epilepsy. Temporal lobe epilepsy usually begins between 10 and 20 years of age, although it can start at any age. What are the symptoms of temporal lobe epilepsy? Symptoms depend on how your seizure begins. You may have an aura before a temporal lobe seizure. An aura is an unusual sensation that you feel before a seizure starts. Not everyone experiences an aura. An aura is a part of a focal aware seizure, meaning you're awake and aware while the symptoms occur. They typically last from a few seconds to 2 minutes. Sensations you may feel during an aura include déjà vu, a feeling of familiarity, a memory or jamais vu, a feeling of unfamiliarity. A sudden sense of fear, panic, or anxiety, anger, sadness, or joy. A rising sick feeling in your stomach, the feeling you get in your gut riding a roller coaster. Altered sense of hearing, sight, smell, taste, or touch. After her diagnosis, Anneliese began taking medication for her epilepsy and enrolled in the University of Warzburg in 1973. However, the drugs she was given failed to help her. As the year progressed, her condition began to deteriorate. Though she was still taking her medication, Anneliese began to believe that she was possessed by a demon, and that she needed to find a solution outside of medicine. She began to see the face of the devil wherever she went, and said she heard demons whispering in her ears. When she heard demons telling her she was a damned soul, and would rot in hell, while she was praying, she concluded that the devil must be possessing her. Anneliese sought out priests to help her with her demonic possession, but all the clergy she approached rejected her requests, saying that she should seek medical help, and that they needed the permission of a bishop anyway. At this point, Anneliese's delusions had become extreme. Believing she was possessed, she ripped the clothes off her body, compulsively performed up to 400 squats a day, crawled under a table, and barked like a dog for 2 days. She also ate spiders and coal, bit the head off a dead bird, and licked her own urine from the floor. Finally, she and her mother found a priest, Ernst, who believed in her possession. He stated that she didn't look like an epileptic in later court documents. Alt petitioned the local bishop, Bishop Joseph Stangl, who eventually approved the request, and granted a local priest, Arnold Wren's, permission to perform an exorcism, but ordered that it be carried out in total secret. Over the next 10 months, following the bishop's approval of Anneliese's exorcism, Alt and Wren's conducted 67 exorcisms, lasting up to 4 hours, on the young woman. Through these sessions, Anneliese revealed that she believed she was possessed by 6 demons: Lucifer, Cain, Judas Iscariot, Adolf Hitler, Nero, and Fleischmann, a disgraced priest. All these spirits would jostle for power of Anneliese's body, and would communicate from her mouth with a low growl. The following is an audio recording from the exorcism.
Ja, ich will auch für die anderen leiden, damit die nicht in die Höhe kommen und so. Aber dass das dann so schlimm ist und so grausam und so furchtbar, nee. Das tut mir leid, das ist so leicht zu haben. Wenn es dann wirklich schlimm ist, da will man überhaupt nicht mehr, da will mein Kind schlimm.
Nein, ihr Klötze! Der Maul mir Klötze! Oh, und der will auch nicht, oh, ich geh auch nicht, oh!
Sind wir schon 3?
Ah, wie. Was er so das schreibt.
Throughout these sessions, Anneliese would frequently talk about dying to atone for the wayward youth of the day and the apostate priests of the modern church. She broke the bones, and ripped the tendons in her knees from continually kneeling in prayer. Over these 10 months, Anneliese was frequently restrained, so the priests could conduct exorcism rites. She slowly stopped eating, and she eventually died of malnutrition and dehydration on July 1st, 1976. She was just 23 years old. After her death, Michel's parents and the 2 priests were found guilty of negligent homicide, and were sentenced to 6 months in jail, reduced to 3 years of probation, and a fine. Some researchers cite Michel's case as an example of misidentified mental disorder, negligence, abuse and religious hysteria, while others cite her case as one of the most notable demonic possessions in recent history. Anneliese Michel was the inspiration for the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and was and still is one of the most documented cases of demonic possession.
Where'd you get those creepers? All those creepers. Where'd you get those eyes? Where'd you get them? Won't you put me wise? Don't you time, man. Pay to advertise. Tell them, doctor. Where did you get those eyes?